What's up YouTube, photographer Ronix from Ronix Photography, and today we are going to be dealing with this photo and we are going to be doing some retouching, color correction, and we are going to be dealing with how to match skin tones in Photoshop. So as you can see, and before I can go furthermore, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and don't forget to leave a comment if at all you have any feedback about this video, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up and that notifications bell when you're subscribing. So right now we're going to be dealing with this photo. This photo was taken by myself and it was taken randomly, so it was kind of a random moment and I don't know why it turned out to be like this, but I would like to do maybe some magic about it. So I want to do some retouching, and this is a raw file. As you can see, it was taken using a Canon 6D camera, and I don't know why my ISOs were really high at this time of the day, but it was shot at ISO 400 using an 85mm at 8.4 at 500 of a second. So you can see we are going to start retouching this photo by coming to our basic adjustments. So I'm just going to come right here. Usually I start by pulling down my highlights because they are kind of blown out, you can see. Then I pull down my whites. I'm trying to get the details in the shot and some of the background. So I know I can't get every detail in the background, so yeah, here we are right now. So then after adjusting the highlights and whites, I prefer to come to my blacks and pull them all the way down because I want to get the contrast and most of the colors in this image. So after my blacks, I usually come to my shadows. I pull these all the way up because yeah, half of her face was almost black, so, and she's light skinned, so I pull this up. So I'm going to come to my contrast. I'm going to pump this a little bit up to around 6-8. So here we are right now. So after, I'm going to come right here. I'm going to add in a little bit of clarity. 4 or 5 can do. Okay, let's go with 6 and a little vibrance. I want this image to pop. So here we are right now. So I'm going to come to my temperature since the image looks kind of blue, and I'm going to pump up temperatures to around, I'm going to pump them up all the way because I want this portrait to be a little bit warm. So here will be fine. So now I'm going to come to my sharpening and I'm going to sharpen it a little bit. I hold down Alt and I drag. So I don't want to overdo the sharpening. So yeah, I'm going to come to my mask. I make sure everything is in focus very well. So this is fine. I won't play with this one. So I'm going to come right on the effects because I want to apply some dehazing on the face. So now I won't come to my effects. I just come to my adjustment brush, and I'm going to do, I'm going to come right and drag all the way. You can see this slider, the dehaze slider, since her face kind of looked whitish. So I'm going to paint. I make sure I check my mask. So I'm going to paint somewhere on her face because I want to do away with some of this highlighting on her face. So I'm going to paint halfway on her face. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to come to my mask, I turn it off, then I'm going to pull this somewhere. You can see we are getting back some of the details we had lost. It was kind of whitish around here. So right now I'm going to come back to my basic adjustments. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to pull down my whites a little bit more and my blacks too. Yeah, so now we're going to open this image in our Photoshop. Click open image. So as it is loading, if at all you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe. So I'm sorry I keep on reminding you guys. Yeah, we make the videos and we need your support too. So yeah, this is the image. You're going to start retouching this image. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by duplicating this background layer by clicking Ctrl J on our keyboard. So I'm going first of all deal away with this pole, and before I deal away with it, I'm going to first crop our image. I make sure it is 4:5, the ratio. You can just choose it around here. Drop down and select 4:5 for Instagram. So I'm going to kinda straighten this image. You hold down, then you tilt the image. You can see. Yeah, I think this will do. Click enter on your keyboard. Yeah, so I'm going to do away with this post. So I'm sorry, this may be a pretty long tutorial, so just bear with me because we have to do our best to this image. We have to do some justice to this photo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come, select my patch tool, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to select where this pole is passing, and I'm going to be using my content aware. So yeah, we continue, we select this pole, then shift backspace, then I click OK. That is the shortcut for our content aware. So it's going to start filling and filling. So after this has been eliminated, you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by, should we start by color correcting our skin tones? I think we should start by doing that. So I will still duplicate. Yeah, I will duplicate. Sorry about that noise. I'm going to duplicate my layer 1, Ctrl J on the keyboard. So when I duplicate it, I'm going to come to my brush, then I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I want to match these skin tones very well. So you can see I'm going to select the area of the skin as I paint with my brush. So what we are going to do right now, we're going to start matching the skin tones, and you select your brush tool, make sure the opacity is at 100 and the flow is at 14%. That's what I prefer to use. So I'm going to start. You hold down Alt to get your eyedropper tool. You sample from here. So you're going to sample as we paint. Then you're going to start painting over. Increase your brush using the brackets on your keyboard. So you're going to start painting over the forehead of the model. So right now we are kind of trying to match our skin tones in this portrait. So you can see, just come back here, we are trying to match the skin tones, and you can see that it is kind of overboard. So I'm going to select from right from here. So I'm going to paint again in that area. Yeah, so you're going to be doing frequency separation, and if at all we don't match this very well, we can always come back and do that later on. So just come. I'm sorry if I try to go overboard with this because I want you guys to see the effect and the kind of work we are going to be doing in this photo. So make sure sample from there and paint here. You can see I'm going to sample from around here, then I'm going to paint around this area. So for here, I think I'm going to use part of these smile lines. Here I'm going to paint a little bit around here to eliminate this blackish thing around below her nose area and between her smile lines. Yeah, so I think so far this is really overboard. So I'm going to sample here. I'm going to paint close to her eyebrows and sample, then I'm going to paint close to her hair. So if at all this is too much, just come and reduce it a little bit. You can see before, after, before, after. So right now I think we are done with matching, trying to match our skin tones. So right now what we are going to do, we are going to start doing our frequency separation, and before we can do the frequency separation, I'm going to merge all these layers. Let me select, Ctrl E, select the two layers and merge them. So I'm going to press Ctrl J on the keyboard, and I'm going to come to my actions. If you don't have the action, make sure you get it from my previous videos on this channel and you download so that you can quicken your editing process. So I play my action. Sorry, I'll deal with the blemishes later on. So for my radius, I'm going to use 9, around 9 for this photo. And as the action is playing, continue. So right now, let me go on and start mixing. We are going to be using our mixture brush tool. And before I do that, I make sure I select my higher frequency, come right here and create a black and white layer on top of our high frequency. This is going to be kinda guiding us a little about where to mix and where not to do our mixing, and it's going to be showing us where the skin tones are kinda imperfect. So I'm going to come right here on my lower frequency now. I come, if you don't have mixer brush, it is always under the brushes, but I prefer to put mine right here out. So make sure it is clean, and this is unchecked, and the wetness I usually prefer 10, the load is 75, the mix is at 90, and the flow at 100. Make sure sample all layers is not checked. So I'm going to start mixing. So usually I don't like over zooming in, but since this is a portrait which is not a close-up enough, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to start mixing the skin tones. So, and make sure when you're mixing you remain within the boundaries of the skin tones you're trying to mix. So we have a highlight here. You see I've mixed that alone, and I've come back to this area and I'm mixing it separately. So right now what we're doing, we are trying to harmonize the skin tones of the model. So as you can see, I'm not crossing over from the highlights to the shadows because I don't want to mess up with the shape of the model's face. So I'm going to come right here, increase the brush using the brackets on your keyboard and paint. So maybe I should show you guys our progress so far, because yeah, I prefer showing you guys the progress each and every step, because you may be wondering why is it black and white and so. I'm going to turn off my black and white and I'm going to show you the progress before, after, before, after. So you can see as we are mixing, it the blemishes are flattened, so they can easily be removed when we are using our patch tool. So we come to hatching area and we mix. You can see I'm only remaining, and make sure when you're mixing don't overdo it unless it is really necessary and you see like there is need to do the mixing so much. So yeah, I come, I mix, continue mixing. So, and usually my policy is I don't forward anything because I want everyone to learn, whether you're a pro or not. So I just want you guys to learn a thing from this video. I don't want you guys to miss out anything. So yeah, for the face, I think, let me turn off my black and white before, after. So let me zoom for you guys. Before, after, before, after. You can see how far we have come. So right now I'm going to continue mixing. I think hatching area is not yet that fine. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Don't make sure when you're mixing, don't zoom in all the way because you may end up doing some mistakes. here and there. So yeah, I think the face is done. So we are now mixing the neck area. And for the brush size, use the brackets on your keyboard to increase or decrease them. You can see I'm mixing the neck area. Let me see the before and after. Make sure you keep on playing with this button, because it shows us the progress, and if at all we have gone overboard with the mixing, yeah, we can go back and work on the errors or delete or undo those areas. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, that's it. So we mix, we have, you can see I'm not crossing from the highlights to the shadows, so I'm making sure I remain within the borders or the boundaries of the areas I'm trying to do the mixing on. So you can see we have, yeah, I'm going now to come to this other arm. So we have a highlight, I've mixed it alone. We have some mid-tones, then yeah, a little bit of shadows right here. So come to this finger, mix that. Yeah, so if at all we have missed out on some of areas and we haven't mixed them, we can usually come back and do the mixing on those areas. So let me turn off my black and white. I'll show you guys how far we have come with this portrait. Before, after, before, after. You can see a difference right now. So what I'm going to do after mixing, let me kind of mix close to her eyeballs, yeah, on this lower socket of the eye. I would like to mix that, and this time I'm sorry, I really have to zoom in so that I can mix there well, because we have some dark thing here. So let me see if I can also do that for this area. Let me turn this back on. I try to mix this area too, because I want this image to look amazing at the end of the day. Yeah, and I want my client to be satisfied. So we wouldn't want to deliver something and someone is like, what did this guy do? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete black and white, and you can see before, after. So I'm going to click and close that. So I'm going to do away with the blemishes right now. Shift Ctrl Alt E on the keyboard to create a layer on top of this. Then I'm also going to create another layer, Ctrl J. I come to my patch tool. So if at all I'm dealing out with the blemishes, it is okay if I zoom in, because I want to remove every little thing on this face. So right now I'm using the patch tool. Select, sample, select and sample, select, sample. So I'm removing the blemishes from this skin. You can see. And yeah, I think there are so many options. Even if you're not using a patch tool, you can as well use your spot healing, or maybe the clone stamp if at all you're good at it. So yeah, right now we are removing those little blemishes on the model's skin. So I won't forward anything. As usual, I want you guys to see how this is created, and yeah, you do the same maybe. So if at all you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that notifications bell on subscribing. So you can see. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, because I have some little things right here on her chin, and I would like to do away with them. So here is how far we have come with this image. We have something here. Yeah, so I think so far so good. So what I'm going to do right now, let's try clearing this wall. It's like a pillar. So let me try clearing, and if at all I would really like to whiten it more, I just select it and paint over it. So here we are right now. So let me clear this too. So you can see this is the photo. So what I'm going to do, before I can color grade this image, we have some little shadows. So I'm going to come back to my camera raw filter, and this time round I'm going to do away with these shadows. So I'm going to pull up my shadows. You can see, yeah, I want to do away with these shadows, and I'm going to pull down my highlights a little bit. Yeah, I think that is done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going now to start the color grading of this image. So I'm going to right now come to my selective color first. I prefer adding some cyans to my photos, and I'm going to pull up my yellows. So after that, I think that is fine. I'm now going to come to my gradient maps, and if you don't have all these in your Photoshop, just click on this gear icon and click photographic toning, and when you append, you'll get everything in your photo. So I prefer using Sapientic because I'm going in for that golden feel, since our model is light skinned. So I'll just come here, from normal to soft light, and I'm going to reduce the opacity, and I'm also going to come back right here, gradient maps, and this time I'm going to be using gold 1 and gold 2. So first of all, I'm going to select gold 1, then I come right here on the blending. I'm going to blend using soft light. Then since that is too much, I'm going to reduce on the opacity. 13 will do, and I'm also going to come back right here on my gradient maps. Then I'm going to come to gold 2, select it, normal, soft light. So you can see the difference it is making to this portrait. So right now you can see like her forehead is kinda whitish. So we are going to try to fix this area. Kinda looks white, I don't know why. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to group these, select our color grading, Ctrl G on the keyboard, so that I can show you guys the before and after. Before color grading, after, before, after. So we are going to try to fix this area, and this time we are going to be using our curves to fix the face area. So I'm going to create a layer on top of our group 1, Ctrl Shift Alt Ctrl E on the keyboard. I don't know what's wrong with me today. So when I do that, I'm going to come to my adjustments. So I'm going to select my curves, and since I want to darken this area right here, I'm going to pull this down. Yeah, you pull it down so that it kind of matches with this area of the face. So yeah, so Ctrl I, you invert. Then I select my brush. I'm going to use the flow of around, I'm going to use 11%. So I'm going to start painting over those areas that look so white. So we are going to be darkening these areas, and make sure when you're doing this, your for color is white, because we are going to be painting on the black. So I increase the brush, and I'm going to try to paint over these areas. Yeah, you can see see. I don't know if that really makes sense to you guys, but if it is too much, just come and reduce the opacity. And yeah, if it is really too bright still, you can just come Shift Ctrl Alt E on the keyboard. Sorry about this. Then I'm going to come right here on my lasso tool, and I'm going to select this specific area we want to fix. That's the hair area. So I'm going to come to right here and my levels, and I'm going to pull this somewhere in. So you can see how far we have come with this photo. Shift Ctrl Alt E. I'm going to create another layer on top of this, and this time around I'm going to do some little adjustments with the colors in camera raw. So Ctrl J, I duplicate that, Ctrl J, camera raw filter. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all whiten the eyes and teeth, and I'm going to play around with these colors. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come right here, camera calibration, and I'm going to play around with these sliders to see what really works for me. So I'm going to pull this down, then I come to my green primary, so you can see what really works for you. But yeah, then I'm going to come to my red primary, and I'm also going to play with that too, so you can see what works for you. So right now I'm going to come to my basic right here, and I'm going to whiten the eyes and teeth of this model. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come right here, I zoom in all the way and select my adjustment brush. Oh, did I call it? Yeah, it is an adjustment brush. So I'm going to zoom in all the way, and I have my brush created. So temperature -42, exposure at 0, all the others 0. So you increase the highlights 9 and the whites, then come to the saturation and reduce it to -75. So I'm going to start brushing on teeth area, and make sure you brush each individual tooth alone. Yeah, we are now brushing because you're using an adjustment brush, or you can select K on your keyboard. And guys, simple reminder, if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell so that you'll be notified every time we post a video onto this channel, so that you don't miss out on our new goodies. So I'm going to come to her eyes, and I'm also going to kind of whiten them a little bit. Yeah, so I think this is fine. So let me come back right here on my basic, and I'm going to pump up my shadows a little bit more. You can see, and bring down my whites a little bit. Yeah, so right now I think this is really nice. So what is left now is up to you. You can continue editing this image the way you want, and if at all you're not happy with this pole, just come Ctrl J, then come and select your brush tool, then sample, Alt, click Alt, then you sample, increase on the brush size and paint over. So right now what we are doing, we are cleaning this pillar. So you can see we are now cleaning the pillar. This is the before after. So after we have cleaned this pillar, you can continue editing the photo the way you would love to do the editing on it. Or let's try to do something about these arms because they are too orangish. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to my quick selection and select this arm area. You can see, yeah, I'm going to select it. So it is kind of orange. So I'm going to come right here and I'm going to use my photo filter, and this time I'm going to select cooling filter because I want these arms to match her face because they're kind of too orange. So I'm going to reduce on the opacity. So I think this is fine. So we can continue color grading this image. Just come gradient map, then you select the color of your choice. You can see, let me add gold too because I want this thing to really look golden. This photo, I just called it a thing, sorry about that. You can see now this is really fine and amazing, and if at all it is too bright, you can just come and to our levels and reduce. I think, did I do something? Yeah, I think this is really fine. So guys, if you learned something from this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section. And oh, sorry, I was still talking, telling you guys I discovered something. Let's create a new layer on top of this. Shift Alt Control E on the keyboard. Let's try to brighten this arm area. Control J. So I'm going to come to my curves. So sorry, I clicked my levels, let me delete that. Come to my curves and brighten a little bit because I want to brighten these arms. Control I on the keyboard. Make sure white is on top. Select your brush. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to start painting or brightening this arm area because it kind of looked really dark. So what I'm doing, I'm now brightening this arm area. You can see how this is. So we look for the dark areas, we brighten them. So I think this is really okay for me. You can see before after. So guys, if you learned something from this channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, and don't forget to drop a comment if at all you have a better way on how we would have edited this photo. So let me show you guys the before and after for this specific photo. I want to show you guys how far we have come with this photo. So let me try to see if I can Control G on the keyboard. Yeah, let me also select our curves. Control G. I show you guys how far we have come with this image. This is the before and the after. Before, after. So guys, if you learned something from this video, subscribe, like, share the video, and yeah, you can drop a comment so that you can motivate us to keep on doing more of these retouching videos. I'm Ronix from Ronix Photography. Thank you for watching. Till next time.